So you bought Xsplit and you want to stream, and then you look at the program and you go, wow, I don't know what all this crap means. So I'm going to show you basically how everything works and to get you up and running on your stream. There's not going to be any super advanced stuff in this tutorial, but it's going to be how to get good quality and up and running. First thing we're going to look at, you've got file. You got a whole bunch of stuff here. Don't worry about file so much because you don't really use it except to save your presentations and start new presentations and things like that. Those are basic options. I'm not going to talk about that. First thing you need to do is you need to go and create an account with Twitch TV or with whatever medium you decide you're going to stream to. Be it YouTube, be it Twitch, be it Own3D. There's a bunch of them. I personally like Twitch, so we're going to talk about that. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to go up here to resolution and you're going to decide what resolution you want to stream in. Now, I suggest, unless you got a boss computer and a really sick internet connection, not to try and stream at 1080. It's pretty difficult. You got to have one hell of an internet connection and a pretty awesome computer. If you got that, more power to you, man. 1080p is great. I'd love to be able to stream in that. I can't, unfortunately. I have 25 download and 10 upload. So I got a pretty fast internet connection, but when it comes to 1080, it's still pretty rough. And that and my CPU isn't the greatest. I'm running an X6 AMD processor, and it's garbage. I'm going to upgrade soon to an i7, and then I'm going to definitely try doing 1080p. But for now, this tutorial is going to be for 720p. So basically, you would come up here and you'd checkbox the 1280 by 720. That'll give you 720p on your live stream. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to go click OK. Then we're going to go up here and look at frame rate. Now, I stream at 29.97. It's just the setting that I use for pretty much everything I do video-wise. I find it's good quality and it works well, and it keeps me streamlined so that nothing varies. If I have to edit stuff together, I always record in 29.97, so editing things together becomes that much easier. Transition. I don't use this, but you can use it. Basically, all it is it does fancy things when you switch scenes down here. We'll get into the scenes a little bit later, but what this does is it's like a transition in any editing software. It'll fade in, collapse, do whatever, you know, all that good stuff. So I just leave it at fade. Looks good, fades in and out. Transition speed, just leave this alone, 1000 milliseconds. Projector, don't worry about that. Scale viewport. Now this is important. If you've got like a separate screen that's a different resolution, it might not all fit on there. So you can even drop it down to like 50%. I'm going to keep it at 100% right now because I'm working on a 1080p monitor, and I actually have this in 720 mode. So basically we've selected the 720 and we've got our viewport scale and our frame rate set. So that's the first things you do. Second thing, go over to broadcast. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go in here because you're not going to have these options necessarily to start off. You're going to click edit channels. So you go over here, you click add, and you're going to add a channel to your stream. And then what you're going to do is it's going to ask you a bunch of questions. I'm going to show you the actual layout of mine because I already have one created. So basically this would be the one you would be creating if you click the add button. I'm just going to edit mine. And it's going to show you the exact same options. So we'll go edit. So first thing is you're going to have your username, which is your Twitch username. You're going to have your stream key or your password. I think everything's going stream key now or whatever. So you're going to have your stream key here, and you're going to have your channel name, and you can have multiple channels if you happen to have multiple channels. So you pick those. You will now go down here and you're going to try and find the best connection you have to the internet. So whichever hub you get the best ping, and I get the best ping at Ashburn, Virginia. So I check this one on their secondary. So you always want to pick the fastest connection. We're going to deal with this test bandwidth in a bit. First, we're going to go down here and set all the other options. I choose super fast because my CPU sucks. So the CPU is garbage, so super fast seems to work the best for me. You can choose very fast, which is pretty decent. You don't have to have a beast of a processor, but you have to have a somewhat decent one. And once you get into the other settings, you got to have an i7 or higher. And unless you got a really good i7, I would not suggest using any of these other options because they just they'll cause lag, and you won't be able to stream. There's no way. And like in my case, like I said, I have to use super fast because my processor sucks. Always want to keep the quality up. I'm all about quality. I want to stream the best I can. So I set it at 10. 10 is the best, and we leave it at that. So the next one is the one that you're going to have to test out a few times. It's the VBV max bit rate. Now, I found that 3250 works perfect for me. I can upstream 720p at 3250 bit rate, no problem. I don't get any lag in game. I don't get any lag on my stream. Works beautifully. When you adjust this, it will automatically adjust this. Now, I've seen some people have used a higher bit rate here for their buffer. I don't see a point in doing it. I tested it out. It didn't really make much of a difference. If anything, I think maybe this is based on your processor speed and stuff like that. So that might be why I don't really see much of a difference. But anyway, codec you can't change. So it's a good codec anyways, X264. You're going to use default stage resolution because that's what you set up here in the view. So we'll just leave that as is. Resize method, unclickable, just leave it as is. We'll go down to format, and we want to get good quality audio, so I use 44,000 16-bit stereo, but I choose a lower bit rate. And the reason for this is I don't really notice much of a difference in the audio quality when I'm using 96,000 as opposed to like 128,000 or whatever. A lot of people use 128. Some people, if you got a wicked internet connection, hey, more power to you. Use the 192. Okay, you'll get perfect quality audio. You won't have any issues. It'll be great. But like I said, I try to save as much bandwidth as I can for my video, so I take a little bit of a degradation in audio with the 96,000 bit rate. So like I said, I don't see much of a difference. If you have the paid version, you have access to the AACLC codec. If not, you got Speaks. I suggest you just buy a subscription for Xsplit. It's well worth it. There's a couple of options that are available only in the paid version, and it just makes your stream that much better, and you don't have to deal with the stupid watermark from XSplit on your videos, which looks kind of unprofessional and whatever. On to other things. Automatically save recording on local hard drive. If you're having any lag issues whatsoever or anything like that, or if you don't have a reason to save the file, just unclick this. It's just going to take up hard drive space. It doesn't take up much. The file sizes are actually very small, which is great, but it's more work for your computer to handle that is unnecessary, unless of course, like I said, you want to edit the video after or whatever. But there is the option to download the video from Twitch after you've streamed, so you can do it that way if you really want to. So I leave this unchecked. Interleave audio and video in one RTMP channel. What this does is it combines your audio and video into one solid file. And when you bring it into editing software, you won't be able to like edit them separately. You'll have to like separate them and stuff, and it's just a pain in the ass. So I uncheck this and I leave it so that when I go into an editing software afterwards, I can edit it there on the fly. So like in Sony Vegas or whatever, it stores as 2 separate tracks or whatever, and then you can do your stuff there. So once you've set this all up, you're going to want to click the test bandwidth. So we're going to do that right now. And click test bandwidth. So what it does is it just goes to the internet and sees what you can actually get away with streaming wise, and whether or not your computer is going to be able to handle all of these settings that you've just put in. So this is mainly a thing for adjusting your bitrate. It allows you to see whether or not you need to adjust your bitrate in order to get better quality or to be lag free, as they say. You're going to probably do this a couple times because it's a thing where you want to use the most bandwidth you can to get the best quality stream, but you don't want to push it too far so that your stream turns out choppy and ugly. So this green light means we're good to go. So these options should stream pretty awesome. If you get yellow, sometimes you can get away with it. But really, I figure I just will tweak the settings down until I hit green so that I know that I'm getting quality and there's going to be no spikes or anything where I lose quality or lag in the game and things like that. And so it's just better for your viewer. Got the green light so that we're good to go. So these settings work for me. So what you would do is basically you would change this, and you could maybe edit the quality a little bit if you really want to, but I would suggest just messing with the bit rate first and keep testing until you get a green light. So drop it down if you get a yellow just slightly or whatever. Like I'd go in 250 increments. So now we have the general tab. This is a very important tab. Now, if you're running Windows 7, make sure that you disable arrow theme. This caused me numerous headaches. I didn't think that I needed to do this. And I recently read on the Xsplit forums that this is a known problem and that if you don't disable the arrow theme while you're streaming, you will get Windows lag. So you will get lag in your games. The stream won't lag, which I found really funny too, because I played the other day and I had a friend watching and he's like, no, the stream's perfect. But I couldn't play the game properly because my game was jumping around all over the place and my frame rates were spiking and doing all weird stuff. And it seems all I did was I disabled this arrow theme and bang, I got perfectly smooth gameplay with perfectly smooth streaming. So make sure you disable this. I don't know if it's true for all games, but I know with Call of Duty, and what they say on the forum is that it's when you use multiple sources. So if you're going to have a webcam and your game and maybe some media files running or something like that, then you definitely want to do this. Second one, I leave enable virtual camera output checked, and I leave enable game source checked. So that's basically so that you can have a game playing and whatever. These two I don't really use. If you use them or you know anything about them, you can put a comment down below and talk about them or whatever, but I don't really use them, so I don't see a point. When you get down here to audio, you choose your mic, pretty self-explanatory, whichever mic you're planning on recording your stream with. The rest of it you leave alone. I wouldn't even touch it. There's no point. If you're using Windows XP, you need to crawl out of the dark ages and get yourself a copy of Windows 7, because I mean XP was great in its time, but it's old. So get rid of XP, start using Windows 7. Last thing is My Recordings. This is where, if you are recording to your hard drive, it's just basically where they're going to drop the files that are recorded and rendered out or whatever. So yeah, that's it. That's all for this one here. We already dealt with resolutions. We set which resolution it is that we want. And then we have hotkeys. Profile I'm not going to show you because I'm just going to have to block it all out anyways. It's just your name and basically information about you. We don't need to look at that. But hotkeys, these are actually useful. So you can bind hotkeys. As you see, I haven't binded any yet, but this is something I'm going to be doing in the next day or two, is setting up hotkeys for switching scenes. I don't see a reason for mic and speaker. I guess there's reasons, you know, if you're leaving and you don't, or your girlfriend's screaming at you, or you you know, you're doing something strange or whatever and you don't want people hearing your mic, you can toggle the mic. But for the scenes, it's great, because say you do like want to go to the bathroom or something like that, what you can do is you can walk away from your computer and swap the scene as you're going to the bathroom and have like a screen come up that says like be back in 5 minutes, you know, I'm taking a dump or whatever the case is. So yeah, this is a good thing to set up. You set up a hotkey and bam, you can use it to swap your scenes on the fly really quickly. And then you don't have to exit out of your game or anything like that. You can just do it while you're playing. So we're going to go apply on all of this stuff that we just did, and we're going to click OK. I think we'll just go through all the menu items first, and then I'll show you how to set up a scene. So we have the announce button. This is really great. Once you start streaming, what this will do is you can go here and you can announce on Justin TV, Twitter, and Facebook. You can send out a tweet, for instance. And so you can go, I will be live. Come watch. That's what she said. Anyways, so you can go, I will be live, come watch. You can go insert link, and it will automatically link them to your channel. This sends out an automatic tweet on your Twitter account once you link your Twitter account with Xsplit. And yeah, it's a real quick way of announcing that you're going to be going live. And you can set it up for Facebook then and whatnot, right? So you can set up all of these and then just click update channel or announce to Twitter or whatever the case is. And then when you're done, you click finish announcing and it closes and you're good to go. So that's a real easy way to communicate with your social media networks in order to let people know what you're doing and when you're doing it. All right, so tools. Basically this you can go into, this will bring you to your My Recordings directory. Activate delay server. I don't use it. I mean, maybe once my channel gets a little bigger, I might start using this, because I don't really want people playing in the same lobbies as me and watching my where I'm camping and stuff like that, you know. So I don't use it at the moment, but it might be something I'll use in the future. So right now I'm not going to go into that too much. General settings, this, like I said, just opens this up again, your general tab. And help, self-explanatory. Does all the fun stuff that help directories usually do. Now we're going to set up a scene, our first scene. So you click the scene you want to set up. First thing you can do is title it. That's awesome. Makes it so that it's organized and you know what's happening. So we'll go multiplayer BO2. Whoops, 2. So this will be our standard setup for multiplayer Black Ops 2. So first thing you're going to do is click it, go here and go add. Now, say you want to have your webcam. All right, we'll put the webcam. Whoa, look at that. I'm here. Imagine that. All right, so you see me on the cam. You can adjust the size of this. You can move it around, do whatever you want. Put it wherever you want. You want it in the bottom corner. You want it in the top corner. You want it right smack dab in the center. That's your choice. You choose. You pick where you want it. You pick the size you want. If you want to be just like a little micro dot in the corner, you can be like that. Look at me. I'm over here. Hi, I'm a little guy. Or you can make it take up half your damn screen. But I mean, if you're playing a game, you don't really want that. So we're going to put it up in the top corner. All right. Just out of the way for now. I don't really care where it is. So we're going to import some more stuff just to get this scene going. All right. So the second thing we're going to import is the game. Now, the problem is the game doesn't exist. As you can see, add game, there's no options. Before you can capture a game or a media player, you first need to click inside the window you wish to capture, blah, 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 blah. All right, so we're going to have to open the game for this. So we're going to go down here, blah, and we're going to go find Black Ops 2. And I believe it's under Steam. All right, we got Steam, we got Call of Duty Black Ops 2 multiplayer. All right, so we got the multiplayer opening up. There we go, Black Ops 2. So now we just Alt-Tab, back to Xsplit. All right, so we have Xsplit open. So now we go here, and when we click on the Add button, Add Game, oh, look at that. We got Call of Duty Black Ops 2 now, multiplayer. So we'll click it, and it jumps into our scene. Not the right size yet, right? It's not going to take up the full screen. So we'll boost that up to the full size just by stretching it out. Super easy. All right, so now that we've got that, oh, wait a second. That hit our camera. All right, so this wasn't so self-explanatory and took me a few minutes to figure out, but I figured it out. All right, so basically you just go down to the webcam and you click the up button. And so basically the order that these appear are the Z order that they appear on your screen. If you don't know what a Z order is, it doesn't really matter. It just means that like whatever's on top is going to be on top. All right, so now we got the game, our camera, and we can still move that around anywhere we want. We can't move this because it's the full size of the screen, but that's fine. We could make it smaller. We could do whatever. And there's some pretty cool options for things like, okay, well, let's say that the webcam. Let's say we want to do like a weird effect with the webcam. All right, so we go over here, and let's say we want to twist that webcam, or we want to, yeah, we want to spin it. We want to look like we're on the other side. All right, so we can do that. We can twist it this way. All right, so look at that, all fancy like, and we can surf through like this. All right, anyways, so those are some of the options you can do. I'm going to set them back for the time being to 0, the defaults, and the video's straight again. All right, so now we have our scene, right? Well, you can spruce it up a little more. So you go down here, we click add. Now we have a whole bunch of other things we can add. You have IP cameras, which I highly doubt you're going to use if you're gaming. You got screen regions, you got media files, you got Skype video, which maybe you will use. I don't use it myself, but maybe you will. You can add a live stream, you can add a title. So I use the media file, okay? I don't like using title because, I mean, title, well, you can use it. It depends on the situation. But a lot of people use it as a scrolling title, and I find it a little too spammy for my own liking. So I don't use titles. But I do use this as a foreground. So what I did is I created this in Photoshop. I created a little foreground file. It's a completely transparent file except for these 3 little areas here. So we'll just bring that in, and as you can see, it's right here. So now we can stretch this out, and we have a nice little setup. All right, so what we can do, first of all, we have to move the webcam up again. because it's now underneath the foreground file. So we move it up, and there we go. We got our webcam inside the box. Again, that's what she said. All right, so now we got the webcam there, looking all professional-like and whatever. We'll just tweak it out so we can see our border. All right, so the webcam is now inside our fancy little foreground border, and we've got our little HUD-looking thing here that says what our stream's about, zombie chunks. And I have a few little links here for my other social media networks like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you want to put in there. All right, so just so the people know, my username's there. And yes, my Twitter is messed up. I know. I ended up, when I created it with an S by accident. What a dork, I know. But that's what it is. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, just make sure you use an S. All right, so we've got all these things done. We're basically ready to stream. All right. So when you want to stream, oh, one last thing. With Black Ops 2, it's not the case, I don't think, with all games, but because Black Ops 2 is DirectX 11, I believe that's the problem. You have to go here, right-click Black Ops 2. This is very important for getting nice, clean, a lag-free stream. Go to the game menu, and make sure you go unclick Show Mouse, because nobody wants to see your damn mouse. Anyways, and click Enable Special Optimization Experimental. Now, I think this was experimental strictly for Black Ops 2, because zombies, this doesn't seem to be a problem. When I play zombies and I stream, I don't seem to have any issue, but this really makes a difference when I'm playing multiplayer. So enable this, and your stream will work magnificently. All right, so you have that option. Another thing you can do, this is something that I tweak out a little bit, is I just go in here to the color, and I change this to a 1 and change this to a 1. You notice the little change in color on the screen. So what that does is just makes your stream a little more vibrant, the colors that are coming out in the game and things like that. It just makes it a little bit more appealing to the eye. So yeah, that's basically it. We're done with this, and we're ready to stream. So when you want to stream, once you have your channel all set up, you just basically go click your channel, and you're already streaming. It's sending information there right away. So don't do that if you're naked. All right. No, but you click that, and one really handy feature it has is as soon as you click it here, even if you don't have your Twitch page open, what it does is it automatically puts a copy of the URL for your Twitch channel in your clipboard. So what that means is you can just go paste it into your browser. Like, it's automatically on your clipboard. So basically this does a copy of your channel name, and you go over to your browser, you click Control V or right click and paste it into the address bar, and you'll automatically be taken to your channel. And it's also good, like, if you want to send it to your friend on Skype or whatever the case is, you just quickly shoot them a link, and they can go over and check you out on Twitter or on Twitch. Twitter, blah. Anyways, so that's how you broadcast. One other thing I'm going to show you quickly is scene changing. So this is really useful. Like, say, like I said earlier, say you want to go take a dump. All right, I created this little file, which has, it's just a picture, and it says offline, blah, 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 and advertises my YouTube channel. I'm going to create one that says, like, be back in 5 minutes or whatever the case is. You know, if I'm going to be gone for 5 minutes, I can bring this up. And that's why I said with the hotkeys, you can set it up where you can just swap between the two scenes very quickly. So yeah, all I did here was I brought in a media file. I went here, had this little file. All right. And we'll delete this first one. Oh, no, we'll delete this first one so I can show you the process. Yeah, you just go add media file, and you click this one, bring it, scale it, and then as soon as you come back to your computer, just click this again, and you'll go right back to your Black Ops 2. Now, the good thing about this game source file thing is it doesn't, it's not like it's capturing a screen region. So you don't have to worry that, you know, like when you log into your Pornhub account that everybody's going to see. Well, if you're doing that. But anyways, like I said, the only thing that's going to be visible is the actual game source. So it'll be Black Ops 2, your video camera, and your overlay. But if you bring up another window above, like say I go and I open up a browser, right? And I bring the browser in here, okay? As you can see, you can't see that browser in my stream, which is great. Like I said, then you can do things and you don't have to worry that you're always like, is my stream going to see all these other things I'm doing? They won't see anything. So yeah, you can feel safe in that. Anyways, if you guys like this, click the like button. If you got any suggestions, any tweaks, anything extra that you can add to this video, let me know in the comments down below. I'll put a link actually in the description down below to my Twitch channel. If you want to come watch me live stream, or, you know, subscribe to me over there, you can, you'll get a notification whenever I do go live, and it'll let you know that, you know, Boss Player is going to play Black Ops 2. Yeah, so guys, share this how you do, and check out some of my other tutorials. I got some other really great tutorials on creating gameplay for YouTube and stuff like that. So yeah, check those out too. I'll try and put some annotations for those. All right, thanks guys. Talk to you later.